Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
The truth shall set you free.
You can't handle the truth.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
That's not how the Force works. Oh, really? You're cold?
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Hasta la vista, baby.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Hello and welcome to the Creative Control Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Kenan, and thank you for joining us for episode 18. With the UEFA European Football Championship kicking off this week, this has got the Creative Control team thinking, what are our favourites and the greatest sports movies ever made? We've decided we're going to hold a small tournament to establish this so we can debate our final top 10 list. So in today's episode, this is going to be the group stages where we're going to put forward a list of 40 movies that we want to put forward. And then in the next episode, that will be our semi-finals. We're going to half that and then take it down to a final top 20 list. Then moving on to the finals, we're going to come up with a top 10. This is going to be fiercely debated, I am sure. Many preferences are going to be based on the fact of our ages, our experiences, what our families and friends have liked, how we saw the movies, how many times, what kind of impact it has made to us emotionally, artistically. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome to the team to today's debate. Welcome, gentlemen. And joining me for today's episode, we have Chris, Greg, Neil, Sal, and Sasha. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the debate is on. We're going to start with Chris, and you're going to give us 5 films to get started with for our top 40. What have you got?
All right, so I've got one of my first films is Concussion, which is a new, recent film out about American football with Will Smith playing the doctor who exposed the periodic concussions that were happening in the NFL that were being hidden by them, based on a true story. And he has to work against the huge corporation which is trying to hide the mental health issues that are developing with ex-players. It's just got a lovely cast. It's got a Corbin in it. It's just a really great film, and I remember watching it, seeing the trailer for it, thinking I want to see this. And I remember when I watched it, it was so emotional going through it, and the way he plays the character, the doctor, so emotional about how he was so passionate about trying to get the right sort of health and safety for these athletes.
Okay,
it's just a really powerful film for me.
Cool.
What else you got? My second one, I've got Major League, which I think is a fantastic comedy film. That film is just amazing. So much fun. Charlie Sheen on it, on point with that one. I've got, who else did I take? White Man Can't Jump.
Yes.
Basketball film. It's a great film. Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes. It's amazing. I went with Rocky 2. I think I went with Rocky 2 because just the last fight and it going down to the last second. I think I probably wouldn't even call, I don't know, it's so hard to say. Rocky 4 is good, but Rocky 2 for me.
Okay.
And then I think my last one I'll go with after that is Rush, which is one with Hemsworth playing James Hunt. Yeah. And it's the rivalry between him and the Ferrari driver. I can't remember his name now. But yeah, it was a great motorsport movie, and I really loved watching it. And it really gave me insight into the characters and the people.
Okay. Niki Lauda, you're thinking of.
Yeah, I appreciate these won't be everyone's top 5s. It's just 5 to start us off with, and it's like
I think that,
we have a podcast, so we're more important than they are.
No, I think the driver you're talking about is Niki Lauda and James.
Niki Lauda, yeah. Basically, it was just an accident whilst racing against Hunt. Was then basically changed, his face, and he worked his heart and soul out to get back to fight against him that season when he was against all odds that he was going to do so. And just the fact that Lauda went on to be very successful. Hunt, I think, had a one winning season really, to drink and other exploits. But it was just a fantastic film. The characters were really rich. Motorsport has its place in being sports films. Yeah. They're just really interesting to watch, and the racing scenes were just fantastic.
Okay. All right, Sal, let's have your 5.
All right. Well, he's taking my rush, so I'm going to start with comedy sport films like The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and what's his face?
Gene Hackman.
In any case, yeah, huge. I would have gone. My brain just went frozen. Anyway, love the film simply because not only is it comedy, it's a feel-good movie. It's also a second chance movie for everybody. Like everybody within all the characters within the film are second chances for them, or a different, chance to prove themselves in a way. And I love sports films that are comedy like that, and a family feel-good sort of a thing. So I would bring in The Rookie after that. That's a baseball movie with. Is that a
Charlie Sheen? Is that one?
No, it's not.
Dennis
Charlie
Quaid.
Shit, Dennis Quaid. That's it. And
on that film.
That's a different
again,
Yeah.
it's again a second chance for what I call film because he wasn't a juniors, drops out. He has a kid. He's got a family. Becomes a coach, and then it sort of catches that he's still pretty good, and he tries it for the major leagues and he succeeds. And after that, I would say. The Longest Yard, again, a comedy film. So I'm sticking to the comedy film in these 5 ones. It's because, again, funny as anything. If you like the old one, Adam Sandler version, I love.
I'm with you on that because that's on my list. That's on my list as well because that's one of his hits rather than his misses, and I thought it was a really good remake.
It's a great remake because I've seen the original one and it is good, but it doesn't. It's not. It's more slow and it takes time to build up and everything. So how many is that? Is that 3? Yeah.
4.
So
3 or
4. Is it 4?
Got 2 more.
2 more. All right. I'll go for Field of Dreams. This is a film that I cannot put in, and it's simply because I think my dad showed me it for the first time. I think it was on TV, and he said, "Well, you got to sit down and watch this film," and with him, and I did, and I loved it. And it's a funny thing is that I keep on forgetting that I have this film, and I've bought it I think 3 or 4 times. So the other day I was going through my stuff, and my dad even told me like, you have like 3 of these at home. I'm like, well, I got 2 of them over here. So, so I don't know. I think I have it on tape. I have it on DVD. I have it on Blu-ray, and I think I have it on somewhere digitally as well. It's one of those films. So if it's on TV, the channel's not changing. It's sticking to it, and I don't know. It's brilliant. And the last one I'll choose for today is Moneyball, baseball film with what's called Brad Pitt. Yes, and it's actually one of the only nonfiction films that I've chosen today. It's simply because this was a strategy that this small team picked up and did and succeeded, and because of that strategy, Boston won. They had like 90 years of like no winnings in championships and suddenly won because using the strategy. And it was a brilliant one, but it was come up by a small team with like next to no money. And it was a group effort, not just a single thing, a group effort. And that, again, a family film, anybody can watch it anytime you watch it. And at the end of the day, you go away happy, after watching it.
Neil, what did
you
you say?
I just say that Field of Dreams, Burt Lancaster's last film as well.
All right, Neil, what have you got?
Well, I mean, really and truly, none of you took any of the films on my list.
Good.
I've got too many, but I'm starting with the one and only
Mighty Ducks
5. Mighty Ducks, right?
It's the original?
Starting with the original Mighty Ducks, right? Number 1. That's what we're starting with. For number 2, I am going to go with Rocky 3.
Okay.
Because whilst I understand that is obviously where we kind of went outside of the realms of like, okay, real, and we kind of went a bit more kind of fantastical. Anybody who has ever in their life been in the gym, been working out, and been like, I can't make it to the end. I had a tiger comes on, you make the end.
I have to say the music in that one is probably better than 2 or 1, definitely. The music in that one there. It's just not on that song, there's other songs as well.
Okay, strong, and Mr. T was fantastic in that.
Mr. T. Great. And Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under lips.
Under lips.
those are my first two.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and even though there's films that I know people will add and won't add, I gotta say, Any Given Sunday.
Okay.
And the last two, I'm adding them because I may not get the chance. I know I won't get the chance to add them later on. The Wrestler.
Yes.
And my last one is going to be Slapshot.
Slapshot.
Ice hockey film Slapshot.
I can't say I've seen it myself.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I have either.
It's got Paul Newman in it.
That's all you need to know.
Cool.
And now you know.
I know.
Right, Greg, let's have your first five.
Well, I mean, I've only got a few left because 3 of them have been taken already. The Wrestler, Field of Dreams, obviously. If you build it, they would come. And Money.
Greg, why didn't you go before me?
I know.
Depends a lot.
Somebody was going to lose out.
Sorry, yeah. Thatcher's going to have one thing left to say. Oh, okay. And of course, I picked Moneyball because anyone who listens to me on this or any other podcast knows I adore Aaron Sorkin. So the film's great, but I would literally, if he sort of dramatized the phone book, I'd read it. I'd watch it. So yeah, so that's amazing. But yeah, so I'm going to go with my first choice. I'm going to go with Warrior. It is the only sort of mixed martial arts movie that's worth watching, in my opinion. I think there's lots of movies that use MMA styles, which are often pretty awful, but this one is just brilliant. Excellent cast, really well acted, an underdog story, but with a twist, and yeah, just brilliant. So,
okay,
adore that film. I have to go with The Karate Kid because it's just one of my favorites growing up. It's just brilliant. Exactly, Miyagi-Do. Absolutely brilliant. Have to go with the first one, and it's gone and led into the Cobra Kai, which is an amazing series as well. But yeah, the original Karate Kid, because a lot of it is based in the tournament, whereas the latter ones aren't. But even so, yeah, the original the best. So that's 2. Third, I'm going to go with, in my opinion, the best film they've ever made about a bobsled team, and a lot of competition. But I think it's just pipped at the top there with quarterbacks and stuff, just because it's funny and it's just, yeah. But there's the same reasons how I say Moneyball. It's just family viewing. It's funny, it's easily quotable and stuff. 4, I'm going to, I guess I might as well put my, I'm amazed my one out of Rocky hasn't been said. We've had Rocky 2 and Rocky 3, so I'm going to go for Rocky 4.
Yes, thank you.
I was going to go, just to try, I was going to go, Rocky 5, the best. Yeah. It's
Rocky what?
Rocky, exactly, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, Rocky Balboa, the Creed, and so forth. Yeah. It's not as dramatic and well made and things as Rocky 1 and 2, which are much more the underdog story. As Neil said, by Rocky 3 it was getting fantastical, and Rocky 4 just takes that to a whole new level. It is full-on propaganda. The Russians, the bad guys. It's so terrible and stuff like that, but it's just a classic.
But the music in that movie,
the soundtrack is amazing.
So again, yeah, the soundtrack's funny. It's just
so many good
fun.
songs.
Ivan Drago is just terrifying,
And we've got the director's cut coming out later this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Richard Nielsen's in it. It's just great, man.
Oh, just fantastic.
So that's my 4. So my 5, I don't know which one to choose out of the ones on my list. I'm probably going to go. Do you know what? I'm going to throw in a curveball from the off. I guarantee this is probably not on anyone's list. I'm going to put in one that would sit the divide between a sports movie, and if we do this again with the top 50 war movies, it would go on that one as well. And I'm going to go for Escape to Victory.
Good man, honestly.
The goal
film, man.
We already know we are like Stallone with Rocky and stuff like that, and even though he's probably the weakest link in it, bearing in mind this is something that has Pele in it amongst something and Michael Caine, it's just really good fun. They cast a lot of real footballers for that reason, and yeah, it's just brings back nostalgia and stuff. So gonna make that my number 5.
All right. Okay, Sasha, let's have your first 5.
Oh, Rocky was definitely up there, but I'm gonna take it off because everyone's going Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.
You're not going to put the first Rocky in?
I would have done, but I kind of think deep down it's on everyone's list anyway. So I'm going to go with other films rather than, because everyone's got a Rocky, you know what I mean? And eventually someone's going to have a Rocky 5, you know what I mean? like because they run out of numbers. So.
We'll all choose all the rest and leave you with 5, yeah.
Is there no love for Creed?
If that goes on the list, I'm walking. That's it.
Look, I love the Creed series and stuff. I think there are other films out there that need a bit more love, kind of thing. We've kind of like everyone's like Rocky. It's a given. All the entries of the Rocky series is definitely in the top 42 for sure.
Well, I'm going to add the first Rocky in anyway because that's going to be one of mine. So
yeah,
crack on.
So I'll leave Rocky because I know someone else will get that. Rocky's in safe hands. But for me, what's it? No particular order, although one of them's definitely number 5 kind of thing. Kingpin.
Yes.
Because they announced
one of mine.
They announced Kingpin 2 this week, and I was just like, I don't care. Sign me up. I don't even care if it's bad. I'm in. That all I just need is Bill Murray back. I'm in. Okay, I'm in. So Kingpin. I've watched that film over and over, and a lot of these ones are comedies, kind of thing that I've kind of mentioned. So Kingpin, I, Tonya.
Mine.
Fantastic performance by her and just damn good kind of film. Shake and Bake Baby, Talladega Nights.
Yeah, that's on my list.
The amount of jokes I had with Chris over the years after watching this film.
Shake and Bake Baby.
Drunken Nights Out.
That film is just amazing.
It's
That's
just,
Will Ferrell again, just being Will Ferrell and just winning at everything he does on the screen.
Okay. So yeah, that Talladega Nights for sure. Feel good movie now. Eddie the Eagle with Hugh Jackman. And Taron Egerton. Fantastic movie. Great adaptation. It was in my top 10 of recent years kind of thing. Really, really enjoyed that movie. And it's a movie like if it's on, I'll watch to the end kind of thing. So I'd say that. And this is, you know what? I'm going to defend this movie, even though it's not on anyone's list. The Wachowski brothers' Speed Racer is a fucking cinematic masterpiece, and I don't care what anyone says. I love that movie. I straight up love that movie. Look, everything you want from the show. It is a sports movie because the core thing is racing against the corporations and shit. And I'm sorry, ending gets me every time. Fucking love it.
All right, that was a curveball.
I said it was definitely a number 5 because everyone's gonna be like, seriously, Speed Racer. But you know what?
I had heard of the legend that there was one person who liked it. I never thought.
Yeah, it was me. I love that film.
What are the chances?
But has anyone seen Speed Racer here?
I have. Yeah,
I saw it at the cinema.
Yeah, I forgot what it was about now.
Oh, okay.
I'll be honest. I watched it without I knew of the show, but I never watched the show. But I watched the movie and I was like, no, this is actually kind of good.
Yeah.
I'm good with this.
I can't remember what happened in it. But I do know that I watched it because Sasha told me.
It was racing at speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gather.
Monkeys. It's great.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to add in some of mine now. If my internet connection holds out. So the first one I've got, I'm going to put Rocky 1 in because I think artistically it's probably the strongest. I think that's where the underdog story begins. Yeah. And it kind of leaves on an
Oscar winner.
It's an Oscar-winning movie, and there's something special about that one. That I think for me it's either 1 or 4. That's where I am. It's either the gritty realism of it, or just the fantastical of that series.
Could you repeat that? Because I missed a lot of it.
I think it's the best of the three things, the best of the series. Yeah.
So the first one is like the grittiest and like the realist of it, where the 4 is the most fantastical. So it has to sit between one of those two. Next one for me is Jerry Maguire.
Yeah,
that's on my list as well. Yeah.
It's, it hasn't got a huge amount of focus on the in-game action, but it's about the behind the scenes. It's about the families.
You can include that easily, yeah, definitely.
It's about the action. And you know, for me, that should have won Best Picture of that year. So yeah, that's definitely up there for me. The next one I've got is The Color of Money.
Oh, yes, it's on my list.
Yeah.
So I haven't got like a theme going here with like Cruise or anything, but Color of Money, just a great film, and
the cast.
So interesting.
Fantastic cast, great performances, great chemistry.
So you picked The Color of the Money over The Hustler, then?
I have, just because I think of the exposure I've had to The Color of Money as opposed to The Hustler. The Color of Money is kind of a sequel, isn't it? Or
it is a sequel, yeah.
So, but definitely the Hustler was on my list, but just for the familiarity on what I've grown up with, I went with The Color of Money. The next one that I have, let's have a look. I'm gonna throw in Dodgeball.
Oh yeah, that's on my list.
That now completes my list. I have nothing else to add.
Yeah,
Dodgeball is just say it.
It's crazy. It's got fantastic individual characters. I think that you got some fantastic cameos. You got, what was it, Chuck Norris and like Hasselhoff, and just so out there.
Norris,
it's brilliant.
So then we've got one more, and what am I going to throw in here? I think I'm going to throw for another comedy. I think I'm going to throw in is Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a brilliant film as well.
I think it's, again, one of our, as a group of friends, probably a film we've quoted to each other so many times down the years. Even now, you eat pieces of shit for breakfast. Go home, go to get in your home, and I think it's just it's one of Sandler's strongest. I think of his movies.
I think he does really well in it. But the Chris McDonald,
Carl Weathers, it's just,
Chris McDonald's is Hugh McGavin, isn't it? He is just amazing in that film as the other guy. His acting in that, just they play off each other so well.
Oh, the price is wrong.
It's good.
Okay, so that makes up our top 30 movies. So we've got 10 spots to fill. Who wants to start throwing out some other films to make up this top 40 list? What do we got?
I've got a few more.
I got a few
5
more.
You won't have. I'm pretty sure you got 5 that you won't put on that won't be on the list for anyone else.
And let's add one each and see where we get, because there's going to be debate.
Okay.
There's going to be debate.
All right, I'll go first. I'll go with We Are Marshall.
What
is We Are Marcia? It's an American football film based on a true story where Marshall University were taking some American football players on the plane, and the plane got crashed. They killed 35 people, including 37 players and head coach. And basically, they were left obviously with like nobody to play in their team. And the film has Matthew McConaughey in it, and it's about bringing a new coach. Matthew Fox is in it as the assistant coach. His assistant coach was the assistant coach who survived the crash. So he's got a low emotional package on it, and it's about how they try and to basically complete. Like when you lose a team like that at that level, you've got to wait years until you get players through, and you're not going to compete and be any good in the university scene in America. So basically, he has to try and get a team together, and like basically goes to get. It's like how they spend those years of that season straight away after the crash. The first season they compete, basically just being whipped by everybody. But it's about the journey of the team, about how they improve, and then basically it goes on. It goes on to say like they developed their team over the next years, became successful again. Honestly, it is a Disney film, but like a Disney sports film, but it is definitely worth a watch. We Are Marcia. In fact, there's been a documentary on it and a Disney film.
All right.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll have that for now. What else we got, Neil?
I only got one choice left.
You might get another.
I'm gonna go with Remember the Titans.
Okay.
Was that Ken?
What was that?
I said I'm gonna go with Remember the Titans.
Denzel Washington. That's a great film.
Yeah.
I think it's got like a really good message in it, and I think it was really not, really ending was good for me in terms of like the film, and it was just a really nice American football film, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg, what have you got?
Well, I mean, officially on my top 10 list, nothing left because the others were Joe Maguire, Dodgeball, The Wrestler, Moneyball, and Field of Dreams. But I'm going to throw one in the mix anyway, and it's not a well-known sport as such, but I'm going to go with rollerball.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it's not a sport now, but it is a sport nonetheless, and slightly murky. And it's just classic. So yeah,
that's a good choice, man.
Nice shout. All right, Sal, what have you got?
Let's Sasha go first because I've got like 10 films on my list and I can choose. I'm trying to choose out of them.
I got 5, and I'm like, there's 4 of them I can't really choose. But you know what? I'm gonna go with a bit of Jean-Claude Van Damme with Kickboxer. Yeah.
Yes.
My other choice was Space Jam, but you know I can't. Yeah.
Michael Jordan or Van Damme.
Kickboxer is just great.
Hey, you might still get it in there. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to add one in then. I'm going to go with the Big Lebowski. So
Nice. Bowling.
A little bit kind of maybe not necessarily surrendered about that, but it is about bowling. It is about the teammate. It's about their camaraderie with it, how seriously they take the sport and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to throw that in there. All right, Sal.
You gotta be stoned to watch that film. Well, I've got too many of them, so I'm gonna.
I know it's not
through them if you don't mind. No, none of my boxing movies. Sorry about that. But the first one I was thinking, I don't know if you guys think about it or how you feel about it. Blindside. Sandra Bullock, and I liked it. And I can watch that film again and again. Mystery Alaska, I think I brought it up a few times. It's a Russell Crowe movie about a hockey team. Hardball with Keanu Reeves and the kids.
Oh yeah,
he's a coach. He's teaching them how to play ball. League of Their Own.
Yeah,
Tom Hanks and all that I like. And not only I like, I think I've watched it 1,000 times.
That was also on my list, my top 10.
Yeah, it needs to be on the list.
Okay, so should we add a League of Their Own on? Because we got 4.
Definitely.
Yeah. Leatherheads. Have you guys seen that? It's by George Clooney.
No,
it's about
I
football.
have. Yeah.
Yeah, American football. It's a decent, nice film. It's a tiny film. The thing was, it came at the wrong time and it flopped. But if you ever watch it again, it's a daytime film. It's a good one. What else was I had of mine? Caddyshack.
Oh,
yeah, I had that.
I could not say Caddyshack, man. Tin Cup.
So
I think somebody mentioned.
Go on, Neil, you go.
I got a list of films that no one's mentioned.
Yeah. How about Tin Cup? What do you guys think about that one?
I've never seen it, so I can't judge on
good.
it.
I've never seen it.
I like Tin Cup.
I know
Kevin
it's not gonna make
Costner.
the top 20.
Yeah, it's Kevin Costner and
Rene Russo.
Yeah.
That's it. And the last 2 are Goon and Mcfarland USA. Goon is a hockey film. I'm not sure it's anyone.
Shulman
I like
Scott,
it.
yeah.
And McFarlane USA is with Kevin Costner again.
Is
Him
that
being
the
a
running
coach. But yes, it is cross-country running movie.
Yeah, I think my other Kevin Costner one that I like is Draft Day. I quite enjoy.
Oh yeah.
Go on, Neil, give me some of yours.
Neil, what you got?
So mine, like, by my choice in films, you can tell like the kind of sports films I like. So Little Giants, Rick Moranis.
Okay.
Rick Moranis film, and that must count for something.
Yeah. The Sandlot.
Sandlot Kids, yeah.
Right. Bad News Bears.
I've not seen that.
Not seen it, but heard of it.
Yeah. And the only other one that I had that I'm sure no one has or will mention would have been Ready to Rumble.
Oh, I got some more as well. Now I got some sort of
right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the WCW wrestling.
W1, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
I know that it is listed as like one of the worst movies and people hate it, but I am like, that movie is exactly what wrestling was at that moment in time it came out, and it's perfect. It's just
well, you know, we
I love it.
We don't discriminate against bad movies. We've had Speed Racer.
Yep.
Got Speed Racer in there, so
yeah, Speed Racer must be better than those.
Okay, so we've got one spot left, but I'm going to run through some other movies that we haven't mentioned, and we think should they be added and replace anything that we currently have in there. Okay. So
I got three more left on my list.
Go on then, Sash. Go through them first.
Okay. 42. That's the movie about Jackie Robinson. Bloodsport, because I was like, well, if I'm going to throw in kickboxer, I got to have some Bloodsport, you know. So yeah, Bloodsport, and Space Jam.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Space Jam. I'm sorry.
Can I,
all right. Well, let's see from this list. Chris, you got number 2.
2. One, because it's not a sport anyone's mentioned. That's Invictus. That's about the South African team with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Matt Damon, I think it's Matt Damon. And that film is the only rugby union film, really drama film. Very well received, and it's about the South African team winning the World Cup when they hosted it after apartheid and the problems they had making the team together, and the political pressures of that, alongside obviously Nelson Mandela being president and everything. And the other film I wanted to add on to that, which is actually a horse racing film, which gives me goosebumps every time I watch it, is Secretariat, which is not an amazing film, but lots of people will have seen Seabiscuit with Toby Maguire, and that's the difference between a Secretariat about Triple Crown winning horse, and literally the last race basically goes around 3 races, and the last race he has to win the Triple Crown, which is not won very often. It's a distance race. It's like he just literally destroys the competition. He wins the first one quite easily, gets injured, wins the second one by a breath, and the third one he literally destroys the horse he's racing against by like half the course. And it's just that last minute where he just keeps going and going at such speed. Every time I watch that scene, it brings me goosebumps. It's not even like a great cast. It's just a really lovely racing film.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Invictus in the 40th spot for now, because we haven't had a rugby movie. So now I'm going to go through these others, and we're going to think, have some of these that we've added, like Invictus, Little Giant, maybe The Blind Side, maybe Concussion or whatever it is. Do we have things that we want to replace? So we went through the Rocky series. We're going to skip 5. What about Rocky Balboa?
Yes.
That was we can't have every Rocky film. We can't have every Rocky film in the top 40.
That's true. That is also true. There can only be one, so we have to have a knockout of the Rockies.
All right.
I think
both the Creed movies.
Well, I would say Creed 1
20 maybe
should have a shot in there, because Creed 1 is as much, to me personally, Creed 1 is it's almost inch perfect, because of the fact that it's like the story of Adonis.
It's great.
It's very reminiscent of the story of Rocky from Rocky 1, but it's just like the movie is just.
So do we want to replace Creed with anything?
The thing with Creed is, I think it's only good because Rocky was so good. That's what I have against putting it in the list.
Yeah, because it does stand heavily on the shoulder. Because like any spin-off or sequel, it does. You know what I mean? But again, I think the Rocky and Creed films are in the same boat, where we've got to pit them against each other on how we feel with them, because it's
Okay, so what about Raging Bull?
Yeah, I had it on my list. I was going to say it. I just mentioned it.
I do think it's a cinematic classic. It's a great movie, but I have only seen the movie twice in my lifetime. It's not something that I rush out to go, oh shit, everyone needs to see Raging Bull, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I'm a huge Martin Scorsese fan. It's very much a Martin Scorsese movie, but you know what I mean? Like, for someone that even owns it on DVD, I haven't rushed to buy the Blu-ray, and I've not even opened my DVD, to be quite honest. I just own it because it's a great film, not because it's something that I would personally sit down and chill to. So if I was being honest about myself,
I've not even seen it, but I know that if anyone's watching this and is respecting the cinephiles, and we do a top 50 or 40 list, or whatever up to, we don't put Raging Bull on it, and we put some other choices on. Not knocking anyone's choices per se.
Sure.
Sort of slightly janky, but I think
it's our exposure to it, right?
We will be mocked.
Let them come. I got.
So are we going with Raging Bull, or are we going with a Little Giant?
Can I put up a Hurricane with Denzel Washington as well?
Yes, the Hurricane should go above Raging Bull.
Wow.
What it is?
Credibility now.
I'll be honest, right? I'll be honest. I'm sure I haven't seen it, but I'm sure Raging Bull is a great movie. It's an Oscar winner. It's Martin Scorsese. It's Robert De Niro. There are all these things that make it a great movie. But there are lots of great movies that when you are like, okay, it's a great movie, but did you enjoy it? Is it something you're like, yeah, that movie? Or was it just, oh, it's a great movie?
Okay, what about The Fighter?
Yeah.
Again,
Mayo and
again, fantastic movie, but for me, I've seen it once. I enjoyed it a lot when I saw it.
Yeah,
I had
but
no desire to go see it back. Whereas
$1 Million Baby, Ali.
$1 Million Baby. No,
I actually don't like that Ali film. I really don't like it.
I hate the Ali film.
Foxcatcher.
Oh yeah, Foxcatcher, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like what you guys are saying that I mean, all these are great films, but you all have watched it once and never gone back to see it again. And then that I think it gives you the vote. Simply that the other movies we watch it all the time, enjoy it all the time, but with this, I think you need a bit more emotional.
I mean, on one hand, it is you know, to the average cinephile, it'd be a mock to not put like Raging Bull on there, but at the same time, we've got to be true to ourselves. I think, but it depends what you're going for. If you're going for this is the definitive list of all time, and then it's like, well, of all time.
No, this is about our list as a team and what.
In that case, fuck Raging Bull, bro. unless Greg and Neil and everyone else that hasn't seen it actually goes makes their way and watch it tonight, and then be like, no, put it on the list. Put it on the list.
No,
otherwise,
okay. Has anyone seen Neil's film Little Giant?
No, I've never seen it.
No, but I've heard of it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave that, and then he'll have to argue it later on to get on the top 10 list. But I think Raging Bull, like I say, we appreciate it, but it just hasn't meant that much to us.
Yeah,
we can appreciate the cinematography, the direction, the acting.
Yeah,
but
Joe Pesci,
it's not our Rocky or whatever it is, you know. So,
yeah.
Okay, because I also had The Fighter, I had Cinderella Man, you know, a few others.
Cinderella Man's a really underrated movie. Like, it's
I liked
a great movie.
I liked it. Russell Crowe, yeah.
Neil, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that, like, one thing that must be pointed out, especially to those cinephiles who are probably like, you know, getting their pitchforks and torches ready for us, right? Is there is a massive difference between like the best and your favorite.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you put it down, let's face it, Citizen Kane is arguably the greatest film ever made. Yeah. Arguably, right? There are many people who hold Citizen Kane up and say, yep, that movie, hands down. I have watched Masters of the Universe infinitely more times than I have watched Citizen Kane. That doesn't make Masters of the Universe better film. It just means, you know what, a film that I watched and I was like, I can watch that again. I can enjoy watching that again. I can drop into this movie at any moment in time and say, yeah, I'm gonna watch it to the end.
All right.
The thing is that some movies just tickle your senses in a way that no matter how many times you watch it, you just enjoy it every time. And some movies that take such a emotional toll on you that even though they're brilliant, you don't want to revisit that though, you know, because you're so involved sometimes. Like with me, it was Walking Dead. The first time when I watched it, and I remember when the wife died, that took a toll on my head, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm not watching this for about a year. That turned out to be 5 years, by the way. And then I started rewatching it again, and by that, I was not, you know, I don't give a shit about it anymore.
Can I get rolling on the definition of a sport in a sports movie? Because I managed to slip through rollerball earlier, which is a bit murdery. And if that's the case, can we have like Hunger Games or Battle Royale in it?
Technically, yeah, you're right. It is a sports film.
Those are
they come under martial art, like combat.
But it's games.
And in Hunger Games, it was a sport.
Yeah.
No, technically, we'd be able to add Mortal Kombat.
No.
Yeah.
Games and Battle Royale.
You know what it is? No one's making money off of Mortal Kombat in the film. it's not a sport because there's nobody owning the sport like a government, like with the with the Hunger Games.
Man.
That
Show
president's
some.
making money.
This one's making baby, bro.
Soulless currency out here.
I was just
Crazy,
sitting
my
there.
baby.
I'd still rather watch
I'm going to veto Hunger
Games.
Games. I'm going to veto Hunger Games.
No, you're right. I would agree with
Okay,
Hunger Games.
what about Foxcatcher?
It's
I've
a
not seen it.
brilliant
so-
movie,
No?
but again, I watched it once
It's
and I
more
was
about
like,
the
yeah, brilliant.
performances, isn't it?
And then I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
totally.
Now this was on obviously a lot of top lists, but I don't know if there's anything any of us have seen. Pride of the Yankees.
No, never heard of
Playing
him.
baseball, I go. I would have the rookie which Sal had, Field of Dreams, League of Their Own, like Major League. We're already at Moneyball.
Yeah.
It's already 5, but baseball
Bull
films
Durham.
are
This was
all
another
I would
Kevin
consider
Costner.
amazing.
Oh yeah, Bill Durham. Yeah.
Durham. I got Trouble with the Curve, which is one with Clint Eastwood in it, which I watched recently, and then that is something I will rewatch. The Natural.
We've got Chariots of Fire.
Yeah, see.
Next
I don't think that's for us.
How did we leave out best of the best?
Yeah, The Way Back, Ben Affleck.
He got game. Yeah, he got game with
Mercury
Jensen,
theme. Can I put in Death Race 2000?
You got the film version of Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, Friday Night
Yeah.
Lights.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
The Water Boy.
Waterboy.
I
want.
want the Waterboy in enough that I would happily.
Will you
give up
sacrifice Little Giants?
I want.
Yeah,
sacrifice Little Giants.
has already been sacrificed.
Okay.
Sorry, Rick Moranis, you're my legend. I'm gonna watch Little Giants again before this.
Okay, the Waterboy is in, Little Giants is out. What about so we've got The Way Back, Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
Really good film.
What about something like something more like British? You go Bend It Like Beckham.
What about
Oh yeah.
Because we have a lot, and there aren't a lot. Greg got Escape to Victory, which is a association football team, as Google made me search earlier, rather than just football. Ridiculous. But like, yeah.
Coach Carter.
Coach Carter.
Coach Carter.
For basketball.
brilliant film?
Does Coach Carter want to be in? Does anybody want to replace anything?
You know what? I'm not supposed to replace, but mention the 4-year plan. Now, anyone who watches proper football, anyone who watches like association football, it was kind of a documentary, kind of fun about QPR, about how they got taken over, and it was on TV recently. It was hilarious about the hilariousness and all the personalities swearing a lot, basically at how bad it was. But it was good.
Shaolin Soccer.
Also, Shaolin Soccer. I have on my list. Shaolin Soccer. Yeah, so fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'm not obsessed with violence, but I've got a football film, Green Street.
Yeah,
Oh,
Green
shit,
Street.
yeah.
I think could you be on the.
Well, you know,
we can't add
Greg,
that.
you say that, but every sport you've mentioned, the last 5 of them, they've all been very violent.
That's what I'm going to
Yeah.
What about
off the pitch? Yeah.
What about Ford versus Ferrari?
Yeah, I had that as well.
Oh, Lemens.
That was good.
That's a good
That
movie.
was good.
That's
a good film.
That's a movie I would watch again.
Days of Thunder for
Days of Thunder, I think, is
Days of Thunder is a good shout.
great film.
Yeah.
What about
Well,
and
hang
then
on, before we go on. So, does anybody want like Days of Thunder in?
go down the list of go down our list we've got and think of a
Because we could get rid of Concussion.
I've never seen.
I know I get rid of Concussion, man.
I've never seen Days of Thunder. You know?
Maybe we could take Days of Thunder and take another racing film. I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe. But
Talladega Nights or Days of Thunder?
Speed Racer or Days of
Speed
Thunder.
Racer.
Speed Racer.
Yeah.
All right.
Before we say Days of Thunder, can we go with Love Bug?
Oh shit!
No,
Herbie, man.
mentioned
No,
Herbie,
man.
actually.
You laugh, but
We've mentioned-
Herbie.
No, you know what?
Herbie.
You know
I was
what?
gonna say
You know
Herbie
what?
myself.
if the Love Bug goes in, then I want Racing Stripes to go in.
Oh yes.
Hey, if the Love Bug goes in,
No joker. No, but like, yeah. I just had, I don't know. No, I mean, we said most of mine now, but like, I think, yeah, I actually think that is probably the last one that I would
All
have.
right, so we've got a couple. We've got a couple here which maybe we might want to put in. So we've got Ford versus Ferrari, which I think is a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
I'd put it in above some of the others on here.
Yeah, sure.
Like for me, I think it's better than Concussion, Invictus, probably the Blind Side, Rollerball. Is there anything that people think, or speed
I'd
racing.
rather keep in. The thing about it is, I'd rather keep in something like Invictus because of its uniqueness. And I mean, I'd be loath to sacrifice Concussion simply because I don't love it so much. And I can admit that other people don't.
Do we lose one of the Rockies at this point?
I think we have to go down. I think that's what we should do. Narrow down the Rocky, and I think we can all agree 4 is the winner. Like, I can't see how, as much as I like to, I think we can all agree 4 is amazing.
All right, so listen.
1 and 4 are also includes, and it's between 2 and 3, which are both amazing also.
All right, so we'll agree 1 and 4 are in. So are we going to lose 2 and 3 at this point?
Yeah. I think you can have 1 in as the original, and 4 in as the other end of the scale from where it started.
The thing is,
that's good.
We've probably all
But I just feel like
on this list, but it's we've got to narrow it down eventually. So.
Okay, so maybe we just lose 2 and 3 now.
Yeah.
Like Neil,
Neil's hurting. Neil's hurting.
So Neil, you'd have 3 ahead of 4.
You know what? It's all right. I would put 3. I would put 3 in like the top 3 Rocky/Creed films. Period.
Yeah, I mean, it was just outside. I think.
Because like for me, it's because that movie has Rocky 1 and Rocky 2 inside of it. We see Rocky at the height, we see him lose it, and we see him come back. Right? We see
he also
Rocky
changed his style as well.
Yeah,
like in the middle of the film, that's quite interesting.
The whole thing of like, it's the unstoppable opponent. Like Creed is never unstoppable. He is the champion, yes, but he's never unstoppable. He is the guy that, I mean, let's face facts. Apollo Creed is in 4 Rocky movies. He wins none of them. He draws 1.
Did Chubba Lang ever kill someone though? Just saying.
Yes, he kills Mickey.
He doesn't kill Mickey.
He kills Mickey.
The stress.
He gave him 1 shot and he gave his heart.
I know, man. I think we have to vote on this, Ken. I think we have to vote.
Okay, let's throw it up. So I think for me, if we got 4 Rocky movies in the moment, and let's leave 2 in to take it down to the semi-finals. I'm voting for 1 and 4. Anybody else with me?
I'm with you.
1, 2, 3.
Sorry, Neil.
Sorry, man.
Okay, majority goes. So
I can't beat that soundtrack. I can't beat the Russians.
Yeah.
Now, I'd rather watch Rocky 3 over probably at least 50% of the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Agreed.
It's just otherwise we're gonna have like sort of 7 rock. Well.
Yeah. You could argue all 4, 6,
7. Yeah, 7 Rocky movies.
Okay,
I could argue Creed 2 as well, because I love Creed 2.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Creed 1, Creed 2, Balboa, Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5.
That's 7 movies. It's crazy.
Okay, so 1 Rocky, 2 of the Rockies are out. Ford versus Ferrari is in.
Goes in. Ford versus Ferrari goes in.
Can I say something?
Of course you can.
Because I'm the one who mentioned Blindside. I'm just thinking Blindside doesn't really mention that on sports. It's basically a white lady saving a poor black kid movie, isn't it? So you can throw it out.
The thing, I think if we're doing it about sports, we need to take into account how much of the sport the film is about.
Yeah.
The movie.
That would argue the football saved him. So you could argue.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, you can say that.
For him, and it is just one person nurturing, and it is about him learning the game and.
How it takes him out
university and kind of be that. So I'm quite comfortable leaving that in at the moment because I think it's a decent movie.
All right.
What films we got on the edge? What films are we trying to put in? So Ford versus Ferrari is in.
Yeah. Did we want Days of Thunder in?
I've never seen it.
I've seen it a couple of times. I don't know.
I've seen it once. I can't remember it.
Do you want Caddyshack in?
I want Caddyshack.
I want Caddyshack in.
I think so.
I think Caddyshack needs to go in. Caddyshack a very different film.
Caddyshack is in. Look, at the moment we've got 1 spot. So if there's a particular movie anybody wants to put in, otherwise one of the Rockies goes back in. So
I think Caddyshack is a Rocky just for the sake of figuring it out later down the line because we're gonna have.
I think we can
put Space Jam in.
Yes, put Space Jam in.
I don't know, man.
No.
He got game.
I've watched Space Jam.
You know what? I have a film that we haven't mentioned that I want to go in.
Okay.
Go on.
Above the Rim.
Yeah.
Above the rim.
What's above the rim?
I've not seen it.
The basketball film.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing
Okay.
there's gonna be basketball
Yeah.
films.
Yeah.
Is it better than Space Jam though? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's got
It's
two
got Bill
bucks in it.
Murray and Bugs Bunny. You got
Bugs
Bill
Bunny,
Murray and Bugs Bunny.
The fact you,
You
the
can't
fact
go
you
wrong
didn't
with
say, the
that.
fact you didn't say Daffy Duck offends me.
I love Daffy, but like you know,
Nah,
like
nah.
that's more Bugs Eye.
So duckist, I can't believe it.
The Duckist, exactly. Daffy Duck is the winner, man. Seriously, probably there. But like, I know, man. Oh, I got one. I didn't mention one of them. Rudy.
Which one?
Rudy.
Rudy, yeah.
I mean, it's
About the guy who basically like completely in suit playing American football, and he gets Sean Astin, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he goes to Notre Dame because he wants to play football for Notre Dame, but like, and he basically spends like 4 years being like the ball boy, the coach, like the runner, like between like the team stuff, like doing everything but play. And basically, it builds up to the point where he, like, it's an emotional moment where the last game of the season, they give him a chance to play like just a little bit of a drive. And like basically it's man, like really is like if we were to do this as a conversation like 20 years ago with people, Rudy would be in the top 10 sports films they would mention.
I went
100%.
to watch Rudy because Aaron Sorkin in the newsroom told me to go watch Rudy, because there's a scene in the newsroom where one of the protagonists is talking about Rudy being this greatest sports film, and I thought, well, that basically means that Aaron Sorkin is saying it's awesome, and then I thought I'd go watch it.
It is really, I've seen it. It is a proper. It's not, and it's got a lot of American football in it as well.
Yeah, you know, it's a hard film. It's a tough film. That's why I think a lot of people love it. Really, yeah.
That's a solid choice for me. But
what about Never Back Down?
I know. I know. Got All the Right Moves is another one which has got Tom Cruise in it, which is one of his younger films where he plays it. It's about American football. We've got Basketball.
Have we mentioned
like 2 sports in one film? Basketball.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
Varsity Blues.
I had that on my list, but I thought of all the American football films, it's the one. I don't know. It's just a bit. I don't know. It just doesn't quite catch it for me. Semi-pro with Will Ferrell, where he plays a bar with that's Gordy Harrison in it as well, where he's like running the semi-pro basketball league. Teen Wolf's got about basketball in it.
Gridiron Gang.
Gridiron Gang. Fever Pitch, more like a comedy based on the book. Mike Bassett, England manager, which I think is just jokes throughout.
That's actually a pretty.
I think Bassett, England manager, is a good shot, actually.
I was thinking that actually.
And then you got like World's Fastest Indian with Anthony Hopkins, where he's trying to break the world.
Oh yes, that was a brilliant film. I loved that film.
I think though, if we've got one spot open and we're struggling to choose one, and we're not putting Raging Bull in, that one spot we don't think we can't really agree on. I know what Satch said before, but like, we're talking about films that, you know, Herbie, etc., Love Bug, like, you know what I mean?
Well, what
maybe
is this? The top 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why was this the top 40?
Because we could do top 100.
Well, we're going for 40, then we're going to stream it down to 20, and then down to the final 10. So it just gives more chance for debate. Well, all right. Well, we got the one spot left. There's lots of.
Okay, Ken, I got one more choice for you. Class of '92, which I know as a fan you might be interested in.
No, we can't. It's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
Oh, it's a documentary. Yeah, we can't. Yeah.
I'm on. Just put $1 Million Baby in there, or Raging Bull if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Or because we're doing this due to the fact that there's, you know, like a football tournament being played. Why don't we put goal in?
Oh, I had goal.
Oh, yeah.
It just went down my list because the 3rd installment ended up on straight to video, and I thought, there's not many great soccer films. Like, when I say soccer, like I'm pressing my stomach, but there's not many of those types of films.
No,
really.
Football films. No.
There's a football film, a soccer film, that none of you will know. It did have a cinematic release, although limited, called The Penalty King. I reckon we should put that in because I was involved in the production of it. I was the music supervisor.
Nice.
So I think that should go in there. I know it's going to get got rid of, but I think if we're fine over space, put that in there because I was involved with it. Fun.
No problems with that.
Penalty kick done.
Done.
Yay!
Done. So
Ignition.
that is our
indication.
That is our top 40. I mean, look, it's quite interesting. Before this podcast started, we are like, how are we going to get it down to like a top 10 or top 20? We actually struggled a little bit to come up with a top 40, which we recognize as really good movies. So we're going to have to cut this in half. That's going to be really entertaining. So
that should be fun.
The next episode,
each other and we vote.
Yep, so this is the group stage. The next stage is going to go to semi-finals. It's going to go from 40 down to 20 before our third episode, where we're going to go to the final with our final top 10. That was really entertaining. We love that, guys. So thank you very much. If people want to find you on social media and tell you you're wrong for your choices, where do they find you?
Sal_F1 at Twitter.
The Neil Coppin on Instagram. And don't come at me telling me I'm wrong, because I will upset you.
Don't argue about Little Giants, man. How about you?
It's Ashman3 on Twitter.
You won't find me because I feature, so you won't find me
Ghost.
anyway.
The Ghost.
Ghost.
Greg, do you remember?
Board Gamer Greg, spelled BORED, on pretty much most social media and things. So
awesome. And you can find me on Twitter if you search at Kenan Talks Film or at Creative Control. Thanks very much for joining us. You can check out all our episodes on every platform out there for video, YouTube, everything else. We're on Google, Apple, iTunes. We are on Spotify, anywhere there's a podcast, basically. But please, if you like what we do, please share, like, and subscribe. If you don't like what we do, share it ironically and just get people to come and have a look anyway. But thanks very much for joining, and we'll see you next time for the semi-finals. Game on.
Yeah.